I'm an online dating consultant, and I essentially help people figure out how to find true love online, and I help them figure out which services are the best for them to utilize and what they need to be doing to increase their maximum kind of online presence, and help them put words to that when sometimes they struggle to do that. It was actually a very personal search. I was looking for my own match. I had a lot of trouble dating through sort of normal media when I moved back to Seattle after having been abroad, and I wound up online dating just to kind of try something new, and I had a lot more first dates than second dates. I kind of learned how not to do everything, but I was very determined and steadfast in my search, and I wound up finding a lot of ways to do everything, and I found the man of my dreams. People often don't believe us that we met online because we're so well matched, and I've actually started helping friends and relatives find their matches, and everybody started hitting it off with people that I helped them meet, and it sort of evolved into a business. So it was a very, very kind of personal core to that. Well, the number one thing I tell them is that it doesn't hurt to try, and they don't ever need to reply to anyone if they don't want to. But usually if people kind of want to take the plunge and they've gotten to the point where they're willing to contact me about it, they just need a little push, they need reassurance, and they need to understand that you don't have to be a supermodel, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to want to find something authentic, and somebody out there is going to want to find you. And usually the kind of success stories that I am able to provide them with really lays the foundation for them feeling a lot more confident about taking that final plunge and jumping in. Generally speaking, the process is to kind of sit down together at a coffee shop or something and talk for about 2 hours. I have sort of a series of questions that I'll ask you to get a feel for your experience level with online dating and dating in general, where you're at, what you're looking for, and I'll help you kind of figure out based on your personality, your demographic, your everything, like where you're at in life, what service is going to be best for you. For a lot of people, it's something really structured like Match.com with really predictable results and, like it's tried and true. For a lot of other people, they cannot stand those character limits, they can't stand sort of the formulaic nature of it, and they don't want to have to pay for it necessarily, so something like Craigslist where you don't have any restraints and you have a lot of control over that ad. It just completely depends on the person that I'm meeting with. So I'm pretty good at sussing that out within, I would say, about 15 minutes of meeting them. So it doesn't take me long to get a read. I've been doing a pretty good job at this for a while now. Definitely. There's a difference between men versus women. There's also, differences between your sexual orientation, your age, your sort of social economic status. There's a lot of factors that go into things. But I've worked with men and women, and I would say that a lot of the principles of a good online presence and a good sort of foot forward transcend those lines. So it's really easy to cater to everybody, because I think that search for finding that perfect soul match to what you have to bring to the world is pretty universal. Yeah, I like to think that I've got one of the best matches that you can have out there, where we'll be celebrating 4 years right about the time that we get married. And like I said, my two best friends are now marrying guys that I helped them meet on Craigslist, actually. And everybody kind of in my circle is really paired up well or is working on it. And generally speaking, if they're working on it, I'm helping them. So I would say that everyone's desire to kind of find that connection is what's behind it. And I'm actually seeing a huge spike in that during the recession right now. I feel like when people are getting laid off and they have sort of more time that they're forced to take to do a little soul searching, people are realizing that the areas of their life that might be a little bit emptier now that the career isn't taking up 9 to 5 are getting fleshed out a little more. So I'm seeing a lot more people who are interested in finding their match now when they weren't necessarily as wrapped up in that idea before. And it's great that people are taking the opportunity to utilize that recession to do something good. The folks that I've managed to pair up were such a good fit for each other, and they weren't having success finding people that were that good of a match on their own. So when I pair them up together, they're just really seeing the type of potential for that kind of electric connection that everybody talks about, and it makes sense to everybody, and everyone's like, oh God, you guys are such a great couple. It's like not every couple gets that reaction on their first impression with people, but I like to think that I hook up folks with people who are like-minded enough and are just kind of that right vibe that they fit together like puzzle pieces. And that's a rare thing I think, or it has been traditionally, but we're getting into relationships for better and better reasons as we evolve as a society. So I'm really helping people find like a connection that is deeper, I think, than a lot of the reasons people paired up traditionally. Well, I kind of want to encourage everyone out there who's maybe a little skeptical about the whole concept of online dating to dive on in and give it a try, because I promise it is not as scary as you think. And if you do it right, if you visit Loveb.ug, or if you kind of take the time to really search within yourself and figure out what it is you're looking for and what you have to offer, you are going to find some great connections out there. You just have to be willing to just get a little bold and give it a shot.